That's what happens when you close the door and then you try to force a governor to approve a budget when we don't know what's in it. This is really what I've been trying to say for 5 years about what goes on upstairs behind closed doors. And it's not one party. It's not one party. It's been going on for years. And matter of fact, if you check the records, since I've been the governor, there's been over $175 million of this kind of stuff going on at the end of every year through cascading. They all sit in a darkened room when everybody else is in bed, and they make these little deals among themselves. And it's in the last 4 years, the surplus every year, the last 4 years have been almost $176 million. And July 1 of every year, it's gone. And that's what I've been trying to stop. I may not be very articulate because I came from the streets. But this is really sad because this is what goes on, and it has been going on for years. And we need Mainers to understand their government is corrupt, and we need to have Mainers demand better from us. And so this is going to be our little Christmas tree, and this is the little piggy bank that the appropriators have behind the scenes where none of us are involved. Any questions?
Why are these particular lawmakers on the tree?
Because they're the appropriators. They're the ones that are doing it.
There's some on there who want appropriations.
But they're in their leadership. They accepted the budget the way it is, and they knew about that.
Governor, you think there would be a place for any kind of like court action to prevent the legislature from breaking the full law? I mean, it's pretty clear in the law that budget negotiations and budget proposals are supposed to be discussed in public.
We can waste more money, and I will tell you, it goes right to the Attorney General's office, and you're not going to get any help from them. The fact of the matter is, the Maine people have to demand better of their elected officials. And I'm serious, we have to demand better and more from the people that we elect to do the job of the people and to do it as honestly as possible. Now, I might be a colorful guy. I might not be politically correct, which I choose not to be, but I am honest. And you know what I know. And I'm sitting in there right now and I'm appalled at some of the stuff I'm finding out I didn't know was in there. I'm finding out that instead of putting general assistance as a number, which we always have, they put it in language so I can't line item veto the illegal money that's going to be spent in the state. They're pretty tricky. They've been around a while. This is the kind of stuff that I ask the Maine people to stand up against. We don't want this kind of stuff. We don't deserve it, we don't need it, and we can do it honestly. We don't need these people that have been here forever, or these people come here to get a title on their resume rather than do the hard work that people ask of them. And believe me, it's a thankless job. I've been doing it for 5 years now. It is a thankless job, but you either do it right or you don't do it at all.
Governor, you mentioned the cascade. Were there particular changes to the cascade in this budget that you're taking issue with?
Every bit of it. I'm trying to eliminate cascading. I want all the surpluses of the state of Maine to go directly to the rainy day fund so everybody knows what it is. And if you choose to go into the rainy day fund and pull money out, then make a case for it. And the Maine people, I'm not going to say no to you if you have a good case and a good reason, but they will say no to you when you take 200,000 here, 500,000 here, and 250,000 here. You do them little, what I call piggy projects, and those little piggy projects end up in millions of dollars at the end of the day. In this case here, just one little 15-minute episode in the appropriations put about $4+ million into the piggy bank, or their piggy banks. And I just don't feel that's right.
Governor, they told us, some of them told us yesterday they ran out of time to do this budget, you know, and not run into a shutdown.
First of all,
but they
wait, will you all listen to me 1 minute here? There is no way they'll shut down unless the Democrats vote and shut down. And in fact, I am preparing a letter right now. We're going to go to ask the law court for an answer. This is it's all fear tactic. It is not true. It doesn't work that way. Number one. Number two, you're telling me they didn't have time to work on this budget. I went through this budget line by line. It took us 3 months. They have had it now for 5 months. Actually, 5.5 months. And they don't have time to do it? Come on now.
They got a deal in like a week. So.
Why do they deal within a week? They had 5 months, and you want to see the kind of stuff they've done for 5 months? You'll see all the vetoes. There's about 200 vetoes that just went up. Stuff that is incredibly, if the Maine people sat down and read all this stuff, they'd either have to be admitted to AMHI, or they'd fire the bums.
What should we expect to see from you tomorrow morning? Line item veto.
That's what I'm working on now.
Will there be a lot of them?
Well, you can bet all this money is in there. Every bit of this money's in there. Yeah, there's quite a bit, several hundred.
Governor, it only takes a simple majority vote to override line item vetoes, as I'm sure you're aware.
I know, but you got to do it through a roll call.
I was going to ask you
That takes
why so
time.
many?
Because it takes time. And I want to show you that for 5 months they wasted our time. This time I'm going to waste a little bit of their time. And frankly, they ought to be sitting back and seeing what's really happening. When you take money away, when you take money out of a budget away from the elderly, the disabled, and the mentally ill, and you put it in areas where you're protecting drug traffickers coming in from out of state, and you're moving positions around in janitorial positions, assistance positions, and you absolutely refuse to give us more drug agents so we can protect the one baby, the 3 babies born a day addicted to drugs, and the person who we are approaching 1 person a day dying from overdose. That's the kind of stuff that these people ignored in this budget.
Isn't there an increase in the number of drug agents in the budget? It's not as many as you had requested, but there is an increase, isn't there?
I don't know. I haven't seen them yet. I'm looking for them. It's a pretty thick book. The other thing I will tell you, $46 million. Now, this is important to the Maine people. Maybe not to reporters, but certainly to Maine people. What they said was, we're going to take the money and give it to general assistance and to fund illegal immigrants at the expense of a wait list. And when you ask the question about the wait list, the answer is, well, we'll chip away at it. Well, let me tell you, these elderly people, we want them to live the rest of their lives as happily and as comfortably as they can. And when you chip away at it, many will die. And that's not what we're trying to do here. And I'm not trying to see the guy going up to 95 at 94 miles an hour, pass out behind the wheel because he's overdosing. And they gave him his 10th shot since January of Narcan. Come on, that's what we're doing upstairs. That's outrageous.
The fact is, the wait list it cost $46.46 million, and in the governor's original budget, that was allocated. It was paid for.
It paid for
They
in
took
total.
it out. They
took
put
it
in
out.
$15 million. That is all. We need to stick to our original obligations before we start new programs. There are new programs in this $4 million.
Test, you know,
It's unacceptable.
and the resolves. I ask, don't send resolves. Resolves is nothing more than kicking the can down the road. These people upstairs, and I say people because they're both sides of the aisle, that's not what we need in government. We need people in government that work for the people. And unfortunately, I hear them say, well, I only represent Skowhegan. Not if you're in leadership. If you're in leadership, you represent the state. You have 2 responsibilities. And I granted there's only 1 person elected statewide. And that's a tough situation because you've got to try to balance everybody's needs. And it's not easy, and I understand that. But if you use character and integrity, you'll get to the right answer. You can't leave your character at the door when you go into your office. And you sure as hell shouldn't leave it outside the door when you lock it.
I gotta get you back.
Okay? Thank you. I got a lot of lines to strike out.